Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of Total Extreme Wrestling right here on BrendenPlayz for our TNA 2007 playthrough. Well, we are a couple more weeks away from our next pay-per-view, which will be Victory Road. Currently in week 2 of July, we need to get to week 3 to get to Victory Road. So not this episode, probably next episode, we will be at that pay-per-view. Today, I've established a new storyline with our tag division. We've got Austin Aries and Roderick Strong versus New Age Outlaws versus Team Canada. That's one of our new storylines. I figured, let's try and get some more of our tag teams together and kind of doing something a bit more meaningful, especially the New Age Outlaws, a good team who probably should have a lot higher popularity than what they do. So they're a team I'm looking to try and push and try and get some more momentum building. Same with Team Canada and of course Aries and Strong as well. But yeah, so today, just continuing along with our storylines, trying to get ourselves prepared for our upcoming pay-per-view, I've decided that I'm not going to have Jeff Jarrett versus Hassan take place on the next pay-per-view. I've read a lot of your comments. A lot of you guys are saying that Muhammad Hassan should probably drop the championship. I was always wanting Hassan to keep the title until Bound for Glory because I really wanted him to have that legendary year-long title reign. But I was just kind of having a look around and looking at some of his recent performances, and I noticed that the prestige of the world title has really dropped since he's had the championship. His last 3 matches, 86, 84, 75. So those are his last 3 title defenses. So to be fair, he's had Jeff Hardy, who he just didn't quite click with, and Goldberg to work with. But before that, he had a great run with Fallen Angel. He had some okay matches with Christian, high 80s, mid 80s. But I suppose maybe he hasn't had the best reign that we've probably hoped for. He's been good. He's definitely been one of our best guys consistently week after week after week. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure. Looking at him, he's averaging 90 for the year. Hasn't lost a single match all year. He's been on fire. He's doing very, very well. The reason why I'm considering it is because I want to establish the new main event market. We've talked about it for a while now. Jeff Jarrett, Ric Flair, Scott Steiner, and Sting. And with that, I'm tempted to give Jeff Jarrett the championship belt. Reason being is because I feel like this would put over the group strongly and can kind of kick that off. Maybe you could give it to Sting, but Sting's obviously not in the best condition to be champion. He's not performing that well. But Jeff Jarrett definitely is. I don't know. I'm kind of considering it. I'm thinking about it. When would I drop it? Maybe Hard Justice would make it happen, and then we have a rematch for No Surrender and kind of figure out who's going to be taking on the champion for Bound for Glory. It could make a good storyline, the main event Mafia on top, dominating TNA versus a babyface who wins the Bound for Glory series, trying to overcome them, overthrow them. It could definitely make a good storyline. If not, you stick with Hassan all the way to Bound for Glory, and the champion, the dominating champion, one of the best champions we've ever had, loses the title. So it could work either way. Speaking of Bound for Glory, here is the current status of the Bound for Glory series. Samoa Joe up top with 1 victory worth 10 points. The rest all getting some pinfall victories. Samoa Joe got a submission win. Abyss has not had a match yet. Scott Steiner has had 2 matches. So we're going to fix that very, very soon. Alright, so we need to probably establish one of our specialty matches. This is a match that I believe is worth 15 points in the Bound for Glory series, something that we do for the pay-per-view, obviously being Victory Road. Now, do we have everyone who's won a match involved in this, or currently all of our losers? Some type of specialty match to get people going. I think maybe all of our current losers be involved in a match at the pay-per-view. A multi-man match with the winner getting a big boost up, and that can kind of take them from the bottom to the top maybe straight away. So that's something I'm currently considering right now. So we'd have to take a look and obviously go back to this graphic. Our bottom 5 right now: Killings, Styles, Rhino, Matt Morgan, and Abyss. Obviously Abyss hasn't lost a match yet, so that could change. So it could end up being maybe the bottom 4 get a big opportunity to be a part of that specialty match. I'm not 100% sure. But normally we'd like to have everybody has had 3 matches before the pay-per-view, or 3 matches including the pay-per-view. So we'll have to consider that. But let's move along. Let's get into today's episode, where Ric Flair has now officially joined TNA. So if we are going to have Ric Flair be a part of our show, then I feel like we might wait until be a part of the main event mafia. We might wait until the pay-per-view where we will unveil the main event mafia. Ric Flair, 87 popularity, 97 in the Mid-Atlantic as well, so he's very popular. 58 though, very old. Quite old. And he's still an occasional wrestler, so he will still wrestle. He's still going, but he'll only wrestle on pay-per-views at this point, which is okay. That's fine. That's fine by me. Probably should only be wrestling on pay-per-views as well. Keep him special. Still has good mic ability, despite it currently declining. I think his skills are sharply declining a little bit. Yeah, so Ric Flair, probably hasn't got long left in the tank. Maybe one more year until he's pretty much finished. How will he perform? Well, I don't think he's going to be any better than Sting. I mean, if anything, he probably should be worse than Sting. Chris Cage, his contract's up. No interest from me in him. I think he was in ECW for a little bit. The new WWE ECW, I forget his name. But I know him from our other TW playthrough. But yeah, so Ric Flair, will he do good? I mean, looking at his stats, you compare it to Sting. Looks like Sting's is a little bit better, to be honest with you. Ric Flair beats him in some categories, but others, I think Sting's got him beat. Or it's very close anyways. Look, if Ric Flair could perform 70, that would make him pretty useful. I think Sting's stats are a lot lower than perhaps what they should be. I think he was still pretty good back at this time period. But I think probably around 2009, 2010 is when Sting really started to shift down. But I think he was still pretty good back then, but I guess the game rates him quite poorly. We have boosted his stats in the past and hasn't really helped too much, so I just think the age is just killing him, really. So there's not much you can really do. But yeah, so we'll have to consider that and have to figure out what we're going to do with Ric Flair. How much will he wrestle? What kind of role will he have? And looking at the main event mafia, a lot of you guys have said, hey, why don't you add in a young gun to be mentored by the main event mafia? And I think that's something we definitely can do. I think Samoa Joe is probably the big name that everyone has kind of suggested to me, which I think could definitely work. But yeah, so we've got Steiner, who's been really good actually. Scott Steiner's been quite handy. Jeff Jarrett's still performing very, very well. And Ric Flair and Sting as the two veteran roles there, who probably they'll be more managers, if anything, be behind the scenes calling the shots type of deal rather than in the ring. But yeah, it could mean that we could have an opportunity to do a big 4v4 match or 5v5 at some point with the main event mafia. I know some people kind of criticize and say, hey, I don't like it when you recreate a stable and don't have the same members in it. Well, the fact of the matter is we can't get Kevin Nash is because he's in a long-term deal. Can't get Kurt Angle yet. Just can't happen. And Booker T is not available either. So same way, with Kurt Angle. So those three guys just aren't available. And you could always recreate a group and make it your own personal touch on it, or make it what you want it to be. And I like the group. I feel like it works. So we add in another member, maybe one more, maybe two. I feel like it could really work. Let's move along in today's show, though, and book some Impact Wrestling, where backstage rating's still good. Matt Hardy not ready to go yet, and Ric Flair not contracted to wrestle on TV. I thought maybe he wouldn't be able to appear in Angles either, but if we look here, he can appear in Angles, and it's okay. For example, we'll just have a quick one there. Yeah, so Ric Flair can still do Angles, so we're not going to do that one, obviously, but he can still do Angles, still be a part. So he can cut promos every week and be involved, but obviously won't wrestle unless it's on a pay-per-view, which is absolutely fine, as we've said. So I'll book some Impact. I'll show you some results. Okay, so Impact, we've got ourselves a 100-rated segment to open things up as Abyss lays out members of the Bound for Glory series who are all out there, talking about who's going to win, how they've all had a good start or ready to perform well, blah, 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 blah. Just kind of talking about how they want to win, what it would mean for them to win, how much they deserve to win. Abyss, his music hits, and he's fed up. He hasn't had a match yet, and he's here to make a statement. Lays out everyone who's out in the ring. 100 rated. So a good segment and a great way to build up some more heat for this Bound for Glory series, because we kind of needed a little bit more because it's been a little bit down. We've had some good matches, but it could be better. Bound for Glory series match between Ron Killings and Matt Morgan, 82. Good chemistry, but just lacks some psychology. Truth, 92. Matt Morgan, 94. Both very, very good, but still only managed 82, which is disappointing. Lack of psychology, and we capped off match length. So we gave it a couple less minutes because we wanted the match to be more all out, a car crash match. So because we needed one on the card, and both these guys are good brawlers, so we figured that would be the match. We also put the global title on the line because I figured, why not? Let's have the title on the line. Let's give Matt Morgan another title defense. Let's try and kick this match up another notch, because Matt Morgan still needs to defend the title. So if it's a good challenger like Ron Killings, let's give him a chance for the title. It's his 17th defense of the championship. Matt Morgan then got laid out by Nakamura, continuing that feud between the two. Austin Aries and Roderick Strong versus the New Age Outlaws, starting off this rivalry. 90 rated match, very, very good. Strong, 96, Aries, 95, Billy Gunn, 82, Road Dogg, 92. So everybody was pretty good except for Billy Gunn. Not sure why. I guess declining physical ability was the main reason. Jericho had a promo talking about his issues with Christian, but for whatever reason, this Jericho and Christian feud, it isn't progressing, even though we're doing segments. So I'll have to analyze that. I think we might have to end that, maybe restart it, I don't know. But for whatever reason, these last few weeks, our segments aren't counting towards the storyline. Another music video hyping up Sting. Afterwards, Scott Steiner cut a promo on Sting, talking about how much he respected Sting, which certainly is interesting. You know, okay, so Scott Steiner, we know he's going to probably align himself with Sting, so kind of just saying, hey, you know what, I hope Sting comes back as a better man. I really respect Sting. He and I had a great Slammiversary match, blah, 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 you know, a lot of history, kind of something along those lines. Shelley versus Chavo, only 76 rated. Shelley 83, Chavo 73, so probably got what it maybe deserved. Jay Lethal commentary. 71 for a video hyping up Melina. We haven't got a women's feud at the moment going for the championship, so a knockouts feud for the championship. Reason being is because I guess more focus has been on Lita's return, which hasn't been great. So I don't know what's the plan there. We're giving Melina a little bit of time, not time off, but you know, just a bit of time to kind of refresh her a little bit and give some other people the chance to shine a bit, because she's been champion for a long time now and has easily been our best woman. There's no one else who deserves the title more than her. But we'll give her, you know, this next pay-per-view off, and we'll see what we can do with her going forward. We had Lita and Awesome Kong and Gail Kim kind of arguing backstage about, you know, Lita, basically. Jeff Hardy had a promo hyping up his match against Abyss. So Jeff Hardy's the one who has he's so fortunate enough to get the opportunity to take on Abyss here tonight in Abyss's first Bound for Glory series match. And obviously Abyss missing out in the first few weeks. He's not happy. He's livid. So he's pissed. And we'll see a 92 rated match between Abyss and Jeff Hardy. Abyss 95, Hardy 94. Lacked some psychology again. Abyss sustained extreme bedhead. Extreme bedhead. Yeah. I don't know what the hell that's gonna mean. He had a bad hair day? Is that what it is? He woke up on the wrong side of the bed? I mean, what is that? What's the bet this is going to put him out for months? Like, just something ridiculous. Let's hope that it's a one-day injury, if you want to call it an injury. It is a 3-day injury. Okay. Extreme bedhead. You've seen it all. So, if you want to call that an injury, Abyss is currently hurt. 8.75 TV rating, which is good. Jay Lethal isn't tough enough for the business. You should release the kid and find a real worker. Scott Steiner's words. Wow. 36 toughness. Maybe Steiner's probably right. He lacks some toughness, no doubt about that. So yeah, Scott Steiner not a fan of Jay Lethal. Okay. So Abyss 93 popularity, still doing very, very well. But yeah, so Abyss gets his first points. Matt Morgan gets his first points. Going to do another match for the Bound for Glory series, maybe even 2, I don't know, on our next episode of Xplosion. Oh yeah, I also signed Mystico, obviously being a pretty talented wrestler, but just doesn't have the American popularity. So I signed him for a pay-per-appearance deal to try and boost up his American popularity, give him a bit of exposure, and see how he goes. If he could potentially become a decent member of our roster, he could really benefit from the X division. So he's someone that I'm not planting too much eggs in, but I'm not really focusing too much on eggs, seeds I should say. But not trying to do too much with him, but give him some exposure and at least help him develop here in the States. So I might give him a match on Xplosion, is kind of what I'm alluding to here. But yeah, we'll book another Xplosion episode, so we'll give Mystico a chance. I think he'll perform really well in terms of in-ring. I just don't think he's going to do that well overall because his popularity is very, very low. So I'll give him a matchup. Let's see how he goes. I think he is available to work. Yes, he is. He is a babyface. So let's give him someone who could probably give him a good match. Maybe Low Key would probably give him a good one. Low Key's a pretty reliable worker. So Low Key versus Mystico. And Mystico is enhancement talent, so you can't give him too long of a matchup. So we'll give him 8 minutes to see what he's made of. Essentially, he's not going to get 5. He has a bad one, but just to get a bit of an idea of what he's up to and where he's at. Tracy Brooks still is out of shape. She's still flabby after having a baby, so she's not quite ready to move up to the main roster yet. And look, ODB and Christy Hemme probably are about ready, so we'll have to consider that. But I think maybe with Lita bombing out, maybe we might have to put one of those women in the spot that Lita was probably going to have, maybe the Bound for Glory against Melina. But we'll have to see. Alright, we'll book Xplosion. I'll show you the results. Matt Seidel, Jay Lethal 74, Seidel 71, Jay Lethal 80. It's pretty good from both of our lesser Xplosion, X Division guys here in Xplosion. Team Canada versus Insane Asylum 76. We gave Team Canada the victory after Chris Hero came in, attacked Test, costing him the matchup. Petey Williams 72, Eric Young 81, so pretty good. Petey Williams definitely has to be a tag team guy, a lot better as a team. Kevin Thorne 74, Test 75, so both guys pretty good as a team. They're not bad, certainly not bad. So that advances the Kings of Wrestling and Insane Asylum storyline. Fallen Angel, Frank Kazarian hyped up a match against the America's Most Wanted. Mystico versus Low Key. Mystico debuts with the Luchador gimmick, has a 57 in-ring performance. Well, considering his popularity is, 15? It's not bad. I think he could definitely hit 70s, 80s in the future if we got his popularity up. Low Key 85, very, very good. Making it a 79 rated match, so definitely carrying Low Key big time. We had the women of TNA discussing the Knockouts champion Melina and what her future is and who should take her on next. A bit of an angle rather to get some of our women some TV exposure, maybe potentially bump up their popularity a little bit. Let's hope. Main event, Bound for Glory Series match: Rhino versus AJ Styles. Rhino 86, AJ 94. Announcing kind of brought it down a little bit. The fact it was a bit of a minor show. It was also babyface versus babyface. 81. We'll take it. It's fine. AJ Styles wins by submission, so that's a 10-point victory. So Styles lost his first match, but fires back with a 10-point victory over Rhino. So now he and Samoa Joe equal first right now. And Joe still has another match. Chris Jericho, Christian, and Abyss. So 4 guys still have one more match until they're even on the playing field. Because they only have 1 match so far. Everybody else has had 2 matches. ODB wants to be brought up again. Gregory Helms signs back with WWE. 0.66 Xplosion rating. ODB, I mean, she might have to be the one to be called up. She really wants to come up, whereas Christy Hemme still is improving. Interesting. So, I don't know what direction we need to go in, but maybe ODB. I think she's pretty good. She didn't quite perform as well as Christy Hemme in her tryout match, I suppose you could say. But her skills have definitely improved. She's getting better every month, just about. So it's good signs. She might be able to have some good performances. She's 29 as well. So you probably want to do something with her pretty soon if you're going to do something with her at all. But there we go. Back down Developmental. Seth Rollins with Hardcore Holly, 64 rated match. Good to see Seth Rollins winning that type of matchup against a veteran of Hardcore Holly, because those are the types of matches we brought Hardcore Holly to do, is to put over the younger guys. So that's a good matchup there, and I like that they went in that direction for him. Dean Ambrose beat Suicide 67 as well. That's a pretty good matchup. And Suicide's, of course, TJ Perkins. Pretty good match there. To get 67 down in developmental is pretty good. Definitely pretty good. So I have to be happy with that one. And those crowds for those shows getting about 1,100, nearly 1,200. It's pretty good in the impact zone. So yeah, you gotta like that. You have to like that. It's pretty good. How many people is actually in the impact zone? That's a good question. How many? Your company must own at least one venue. We don't even own a venue. We don't even own the impact zone apparently. So there you go. But yeah. So quick look at Eric Young and Petey Williams. We did give them a significant victory over Test and Kevin Thorne. So Petey Williams, I mean, look at his career. He's won 2 matches. He's won 24 overall. Hit a good run down in developmental, obviously. But we just look at his TNA stats. 7 matches, he's won 20 losses, averaging 72. So he hasn't been all that bad, but his best match has been 80 rated. So to get an 80 as his best over the course of his year-and-a-half run, it's not great. But we'll see if this tag team with Eric Young can help him. We haven't done a lot with Eric Young, I know that, and Bobby Roode as well is another guy we've kind of underutilized. So we're giving them this tag team feud with Aries and Strong and New Age Outlaws in an attempt to kind of utilize them whilst they're not involved in the Bound for Glory series, because we have some good teams. We definitely have a good tag division. We can elevate one of those teams to the next level, perhaps get them in title contention. That will spice things up a little bit more. Maybe Team Canada could be that team. I think they're pretty good. The New Age Outlaws are probably our strongest babyface away from the Dudleys at the moment, so we want to keep them strong. Likewise with the Dudley boys. So, well, we do have, of course, Bad Influence now as well, so I forgot about that team. But yeah, they are definitely now a bit of a factor. We need to rise Frankie Kazarian's popularity up, though, because currently it's a little bit too low. So we can rise his popularity up. That will certainly help. We need to do a little bit more Goldberg and Lashley. I kind of forgot to address that feud this week. But that's something we're going to drag out for a while anyways. We're not going to do a match with those two just quite yet. We're going to drag that a little bit longer. But yeah, so next up we've got the Victory Road pay-per-view after 1 more week's worth of shows. We're 5 days away from Impact, so I'm going to advance these 5 days. Let's check in. Let's see if any other news. Oh, WWE, what are you thinking? Great Khali has been called up onto the main roster. Don't do it, WWE. Don't do it. Trust me, it's a mistake. Oh no, they've brought him up. So what is this now? 2007? Yeah, it's around about a little bit later than usual, but his match rating is 39 over the course of the year and a bit. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Good luck to WWE. Oh man, I hope they don't give him the belt or anything like that, because he's terrible. He is terrible. And speaking of WWE, Raw, Shawn Michaels versus Nikki, aka Dolph Ziggler, was the main event. So a little bit before Ziggler kind of got anywhere in his career. Ziggler, 62 popularity, so he's kind of been at a decent stance for a while now. Not really going up, not really going down. Taker versus Angle, that should have been the main event, in my opinion. I probably would have gone with that one, rather than Ziggler versus Michaels, especially when you have 95 Undertaker and Kurt Angle, who is also 92. Kurt Angle has been 91, so he's gone up a little bit as of late. And if you have 99 rated matches, you will go up, that is for sure. So, very, very nice. All the matches are actually pretty good, even Jamal, which is that Umaga, I believe? Yeah, Umaga versus Brian Kendrick. Pretty good as well. He's also the Cruiserweight champion. But not much else to really get into other than that. We've got 1 more week, as I've said, until our pay-per-view. So next episode, we'll show you the results of that week, and then obviously the pay-per-view as well. So stay tuned for that. Any suggestions on anything we've kind of covered here today, let me know. Anyone that you'd like me to give a push to, let me know. If there's one wrestler who you think, hey, give this guy an opportunity, whack it in the comments down below. We'll figure it out. We'll see what we should do. Also, who should challenge Melina for the Women's Championship next? Let us know. Mystico, with his one appearance, went from about 15 pop to about 30. So that's the power that being on TV in America does. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.